With the fossil fuel prices rising, the driving population has started looking out for other alternatives, and the best they could come up with is EV. So 2022 appears to be the year for EV cars. Let us start with the hottest vehicle among the EVs, which is of course the electric trucks, which have incredible power and performance, especially for towing. Kicking off with the electric pickup is the Ford F-150 Lightning, which is yet to be released in 2022, but still managed to have a long line of pre-orders. With a low base of $40,000, Ford has been able to have a reign on its dealers, as based on the pre-orders, it looks like the buyers will be too impatient to wait. The impatient buyers still have another option, which is Chevrolet Silverado EV, though they have to wait until 2023. Yet it is still worth the wait because it has an impressive Ultium battery with a Super Cruise driving automation. This automation service is called Ultify, which is connected through cloud services. There's also the launch of Tesla's Cybertruck, which rightfully has won the hearts of many. There seems to have been some delay in the launch, but as soon as it gets released, the better. Next on the list would be, of course, the SUVs and crossover, the much preferred vehicle by many. So our first announcement would come as a surprise to many, as Toyota is planning to launch its first ever EV, coined the Toyota bZ4X. Weird name, right? Hope the EV isn't as weird as it sounds, although we know that it has a range of 250 miles with a front-wheel drive configuration. Since this will be Toyota's first ever mainstream EV, they have their fingers crossed. The good news is, if this bZ4X kicks in big time, then you can expect the launch of the SUV Subaru Solterra and the luxurious Lexus derivative as well. So once again, fingers crossed. Next on the list will be the much expected Nissan Araya, which surprisingly has amazingly classy looks and a semi-self-automation driving mode, but with a price tag of $47,000. All good things come with a price. Just like most high-performance EVs, the Nissan Araya has a 300-mile range, but the range does drop down to 265 miles when you choose the high-performance all-wheel drive version. Let us get into the legendary brands like BMW. Yes, we are talking about their new EV 2022 release, the BMW iX xDrive 50. As you already know, BMW is known for their benchmark crossovers, so iX50 is going to be yet another feather in their hat. Though it might seem like it is just an electrified X5, the manufacturers went ahead and built this from scratch, which includes different platforms, chassis construction, and styling as well. The iX50 definitely has one of the largest expressions of BMW's new grille design. This might not sound appealing to many, but still, you'll forget about the exterior looks once you get into the vehicle, enjoying the beauty of iDrive 8 displayed across an enormous widescreen which is connected through an integrated 5G. Well, our next EV has created huge anticipation among its loyal customers. Yes, we are talking about the Hyundai Ioniq 5. It has about a $40,000 to $55,000 base, which does include the tax breaks. It might sound expensive to many non-Hyundai users, however, it is worth it because this is the only EV that is worth competing with the Tesla Y, which happens to be the best in this game. If the Ioniq 5 sounds ridiculously pricey, then check out Kia's EV6, which has the same underpinnings and structure, but of course, it is a whole different brand. However, if you want to drive around an EV bigger than these, but conventional as well, then go for the 2023 Kia Sportage, which will amazingly suit your style as it copies the design from Kia Telluride, and you will get an additional potential plug-in hybrid powertrain. Speaking of a hybrid powertrain, the next one is the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, which is identical to the conventional vehicle and will deliver you in 54 miles range. This is quite amazing compared to all the electric vehicles on the European side, which only have a range of 40 to 45, so for the US rate, this is quite a huge deal. So what about the Volkswagen ID4? Though its range of 250 miles is quite normal in 2022, what will amaze you is that its price is coming down from the usual 40 plus to nearly $37,000, which is quite a good bargain for an EV with 250 miles. This extraordinary change is happening because they're moving production from Germany to Chattanooga, Tennessee. So basically, there will be more availability and volume, thus lowering the cost. How can we forget the Volvo C40 Recharge? It is a coupe crossover with great looks, thanks to its sustainable vegan interior, which is its first, along with being the first mainstream EV and the first ever Volvo to be sold only through an online portal. So you could just sit in the comfort of your home and order the Volvo C40 Recharge, which gives a 225-mile range. Cadillac Lyriq is nothing like the original Cadillac, which includes the looks as well as the interior and the exterior. The cabin shouts out widescreen interior, a due note to other car makers. As the brand goes, the Cadillac Lyriq starts at $60,000, and just as you wonder that the price is too pricey, let us assure you the launch edition is already sold out, so probably this price range would be welcomed. Also, based on the overall exterior and interior execution, this is something worth the price. Along with the looks comes the 300-mile range and the latest version of GM's version of excellent Super Cruise semi-self-driving automation. On the levels of luxury comes our next EV, Mercedes-Benz EQB, which is a high-top sneaker look with a big utilitarian rear with a squared offset shoulder. You will have two variants, 300 and 350. So, as the number goes, 350 is of higher performance, but both the variants are of dual-motor all-wheel drive. The next luxurious EV will be the Audi Q4 e-tron, which is rather only an entry-level luxury line with a roofline version and an amazing augmented reality on the head-up display. All of these luxuries at a whopping $45,000 base price. Do you think it's worth it? Well, heard of Jeep? Who hasn't? But did you know it is now being associated with electrification? The Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe is a plug-in hybrid version with 25 miles of range on a single charge, and after that, you will have to kick over to the combustion mode. Further, you have a 470 pound-feet of total torque, making this EV the only powerful off-road EV. Next is our Genesis G80, which is already the favorite of many who prefer a sleeper luxury sedan with, of course, a conventional power. With a higher value of 200 miles of range and a smart charging system that can adapt to different voltages so that you can just go ahead and charge them anywhere without any fear. Since it is already launched in China, we know what to expect when we welcome it in 2022. The last one on this list is an exotic EV, and many of you might have guessed it right. Yes, we are talking about the Ferrari 296 GTB, which is a plug-in hybrid powertrain component with a whopping 820 horsepower. We don't even have to mention the beautiful styling of a Ferrari. Before we sign off, we would also like to add that this year in the list of exotics, it's just about Ferrari, but you can expect the Maserati plunging itself into full EV through the Gran Turismo. There are many speculations doing rounds this year, but one thing's for sure, EV cars are starting to appear more in 2022 because it is here to stay. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button and share it with fellow motorheads and tech enthusiasts. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to never miss an update. See you next time.